So lawyers have a reputation. They'll wait till the guy across the street has tried it and proven it to be working, then do it again. So even if I was to convince a lawyer to do something first, be the first to do something, you know what they'll come back and say? They'll come back and say, "But the guy's just going to catch up to me."
Advantage.
I'm like, oh my God, not if you do it right. I'm not saying go and get out in front and then sit your ass down and let everything just happen. No, you don't. You never become complacent. I call it you never become the BlackBerry. Mm-hmm. Never. I use that example, right? Never become complacent. But you get out ahead of your competition, and then there's strategies for you to stay out in front of your competition.
Hi, and welcome to Main Street AI, the podcast where traditional businesses are quietly revolutionizing their operations with artificial intelligence and winning. In this podcast, I sit down with industry leaders from law firms and professional services and other Main Street businesses to explore their AI journey. We dive into the opportunities they see, the challenges they're navigating, and the real impact of AI on their industries. Whether you're AI curious or ready to implement, this show brings you insights from leaders who are actually using this technology to serve customers better, empower employees, and drive profitable growth. Gary Mitchell has been coaching law firm owners for 20 years. He works from Puerto Vallarta in the winter, practices everything he teaches, and is about to launch a book called The And Approach, because he believes lawyers don't have to choose between growing their firm and having a life. In this episode, Gary brings an outside perspective to the legal industry that is by turns funny, sharp, and genuinely useful, why lawyers are the toughest coaching client on the planet, why the same traits that make them brilliant attorneys are holding them back as business owners, and why AI is going to give lawyers something their entire career has been designed to take away: freedom. There's lots of great advice and gems in this one. Let's dive in.
Hi, welcome back to the Main Street AI podcast. This is Stephen Whittier with Satori Coach IO, and today I'm joined by Gary Mitchell of On Track Coach. Gary, thanks for joining.
Hey, Stephen, it's my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Great. So this is another one of a couple episodes I've done, which is a little bit more professional services adjacent. You're in the coaching consulting space, and could you just talk to us a little bit about who you are, what you do, from a high level?
Sure. Okay. High level, 20 years in, I work with law firm owners, smaller firms, entrepreneurial enterprises, helping them with all things business. For those that don't understand the legal industry, lawyers are like many other professional service areas, architects, accountants, engineers. None of these professionals are taught the business side. Right. So you could have an architect or an engineer or lawyer having, honed their craft, being an amazing at what they are as a professional, but they have been given no business acumen or skills or opportunity to train. I liken it like this. I break it down to they have had Olympian training with the left brain functions and they have been binging Netflix on the couch with the right brain functions. Mm-hmm. So I get them off the effing couch and I get them to work the right brain functions in a nutshell. Soft skills, people skills, because the people it's the biggest challenge of the industry. My main thing, and I have a book to the effect coming out in June to the effect of this. My main thing is helping law firm owners grow their law firm and at the same time gain more freedom in their life. So it's not just business. It's not just money. It's not just bigger. It's helping them create the life they've always dreamed of. That's my mission. I'll leave it at that for now. We can dive in more later as we go through the content.
Yeah, of course. And I, right off the bat, working in this industry with these same professionals as well, overwhelm and just no time is one of the biggest.
No time. No.
For people that might be hearing this in the legal profession and they're not coming at it from your side, their entire training and trajectory has around legal expertise. What would you say to them if they were to hear you? What do you think that they might underestimate or maybe not understand about what it is that you do? Because I know from a consulting coaching background, a lot of times people wait until they're deeply in pain before they seek out some assistance.
Unfortunately, yes. But that's
what would you say to those people to kind of clarify what you do and the need for it?
Okay, well, first of all, Stephen, I didn't realize growing up that I was going to end up being a masochist working with the toughest target audience on the planet. I mean, let's face it, lawyers are critical, analytical, skeptical, but everything we want them to be when we hire them,
Mhm.
right? Those are the skills that, so they're going to come at it and go, freedom? What's this guy smoking? That's first of all, because everything that they've done, all of their conditioning from law school right through the early years, articling and then associate, junior associate, working a big firm or working for the old geezer who's 80 years old and still working 80 hours a week. It's work, 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 work. And you mentioned just a minute ago the overwhelm. The overwhelm is incredible. It's unbelievable. Like the carnage that I have seen over the years. I mean, there's no better term to describe it. It's just, it's so my first question would be to them, forget about what you think you know about running a law firm. If you had freedom, how would that feel for you?
Mhm.
Only you can answer it. And then the definition of freedom is going to be different for everyone, right? I know what mine is. I know what several of my clients are. And if they want proof, I can point to dozens and dozens of examples of it being done. Because the lawyers always want proof. So don't listen to me. I'll introduce you to some former clients and some non-clients who I've become aware of over the years, who have truly built incredible businesses and lives.
Mhm.
But it starts with mindset. And that's where I start when I'm coaching my clients, because again, everything has been programmed, right? They have been fed and programmed to believe you got to work 60 to 80 hours a week. You got to have total control. You can't let go. You can't rely on other people. You can't trust other people. You got to do it all on your own, blah, 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 blah. So I have to break all that down. I have to help break all that down. Unfortunately, you said something about these people will usually come at when they're in the deepest pain. That's not just a lawyer trait, that's a human trait.
Of course.
Unfortunately, we don't, you've heard of the term rock bottom. People
Mhm.
typically, and all the podcast, all the audiobooks, both audiobooks I'm listening to right now bring this up from different angles. Unfortunately, that is the human condition. We do not make changes unless we reach a certain high level of pain, right? And it's a negative motivator to make the change. I kind of have been, I mean, it suits me well being more of an optimist, being a coach. It wouldn't serve me well being a pessimist.
Right.
But I kind of think on the opposite side, I think of what's possible, right? I'm not thinking about that can't be done, that can't be done, that can't be done. I'm thinking, how can it be done, right? There must be a way. There's a solution here somewhere. I don't know what it is, but there is somewhere. So it's a mindset. And that's where I start with the coaching. And if they're not ready for that, I or probably no one else can help them, right?
Yeah, I think that's a universal, as you mentioned, where
It
everything
is.
starts with kind of resetting your current paradigm for
Yep.
what you think this is and should be. And
Well, the title of the book is The And Approach.
mhm.
Grow your law firm and gain more freedom.
Mm.
So not this or that, not but, no, get rid of but, get rid of or, and. Just like I've always, I don't know why, but I've always gravitated to like one, like I'll say just Nike, right? Just do it. Like when you hear Nike, you think swoosh, but I think just do it. I'm a
Yes.
fan of one word explanatives so that you can snap yourself in the moment. And this and that. Now, I don't want to come across like so high and mighty that everything's smooth and everything's easy. And no, but life isn't easy. You're going to build a business. That's tough.
Mhm.
Any way you build it, it's tough. So why not build it with freedom in mind? Whether that's climbing a mountain, right, jet skiing in the Mediterranean, walking the desert, the Sahara Desert, whatever it is. Um, and I'll tell you the shift, because I've been doing this for a while now, 20 years. The real shift, COVID catapulted a lot more people thinking about freedom, thinking about, I'm making enough money, I'm making more than enough money, I'll probably never ever spend it in my lifetime, but I don't have time to go to my kids' recital or their soccer game, or if it's the woman, she's at home, she has children to take care of, but she's got the office calling all the time, and that pull, right? So I've worked with people at all scenarios, younger and older, in the middle, small firms, large firms, and now I'm really focused on working entrepreneur to entrepreneur with those law firm owners who do seek freedom. And I'm already thinking ahead to the book launch in Toronto. One of my former clients is hosting the event on Bay Street.
Okay.
For your listeners who may not be aware, that's the legal business hub street of downtown Toronto, and actually for the whole country. It's like Wall Street in the US, Bay Street in Toronto. So I already imagine introducing him as, ladies and gentlemen, this is living proof of what I talk about in the book. This guy has done it. I mean, he was like 34 when I worked with him, and he had 5 lawyers. That was 2018 to 2020. He's now got, I believe he's up to 16 lawyers. So when you have like, that's triple plus the support staff, that's amazing growth. So I look forward to putting it all on them. It's not about me. It's like, I can guide and I advise, but they actually lift the weights, right? They do the work. But they have to want it. They have to want, and I'm not going to waste any time trying to convince them, or it's not my job. They come to, I actually just had a recent, it was really interesting because I do see the trend going this way more and more, and especially the younger generations, right? Like 40 and under, 45 and under, they're way more focused on having some freedom and quality of life. You know, the older generation, work. The younger generation's easier to work with, but I just got this questionnaire for a consultation I'll be doing next week. And time was used in 5 of her answers out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
5 out of 10. Yep. She brought it up. And I'm like, this is an ideal candidate for the work I do. That she has recognized that career's going great, income's good, all that's great, but I don't have enough time.
Mm-hmm.
And so the question then I would ask someone is, what is your time worth? I don't mean your billable hour. I mean your time on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
What is that worth?
Yes.
And only you can answer that. I can't answer that for you.
100%. Also, where you said you're working a lot with the smaller firms, you know, the goal of every smaller firm is to be able to scale to what, right? To whatever degree
exactly
they're looking for. So you run into the key man or key woman issue. I was going over a proposal last night with a female attorney, right? And so the time thing for that was exactly what you're describing. How do we get to the next stage? Because you don't even have enough bandwidth to get your own work done, let alone to start thinking about, well, like, what are your KPIs? What are your measurables?
Oh no, there's no brain space for it. There's
no space, time, right? So
that's right. There's no space in the head left for it, unfortunately, because they're running around. Like the typical law firm owner has 2 full-time jobs. Mm-hmm. They've got their own practice and their own clients, and then running the firm. And time to think high-level strategy, future, down the road. No. That's where I come in. And it's pretty awesome, Stephen, because of the experience I've had, and I get to understand the client. Like once for a month, maybe 2 months in, I have pretty good understanding of the client, how they work, right? Takes a little while. And I can see their future. I'm not magic. I'm not, a fortune teller, but I can see their future. Yeah, exactly. It's based on the clients I've worked with before. If we follow this plan, if this trajectory, this is where you're going to be. And so again, they're skeptical. They're not trusting easily. So it's a dance. Which I've always loved the challenge. Well, I definitely found the challenge, right? Lawyers are a challenge, but that makes the win even sweeter when I can see the light in their eyes, right? Come on. And they can go, absolutely. That makes it all work. That makes all of it worth it. It really does. Yeah.
Great. Let's kind of turn over to the tech side of the conversation. So, what are you seeing right now working with the firms with where the emerging technology, the AI, where's that trending right now in that field?
If I were to give you a one answer, then I would be full of fill in the blanks. It depends. I mean, the older generation, again, they fended off fax machines when they first came out. Okay. Yeah, seriously. I mean, the older lawyers are just very averse to technology, always have been. I don't see that changing. But the younger lawyers, right? Like I've got a client who he's GPT in everything,
Mhm.
right? Like he just every day he's using AI. So they're using it for a lot of them are using it in marketing, right? Setting up marketing channels and systems, outreach. Some of them have started to adapt it in the practice, right? For lower level repetitious stuff currently being done by law clerks and paralegals or legal assistants. Um, so you've got, I would say you've got the gamut, right? From the younger generation, they're more curious, they're in it, they're not afraid of it, so they're experimenting with it, they're trying it out, they're figuring it out. There's been lots of articles. Jordan Furlong, well-known consultant and speaker in the legal industry, has written a lot on the subject. He's fascinating to speak with. Um, and we're still at baby stages. Like you mentioned pre-call, you've been going down the road of AI for what, 5 years, I think you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
So you are a very early adopter when it
Yes.
comes to that technology. We have people who are just getting into it now. And like kind of like when you go, if you're dipping your toe in a pool or a lake, that's
Right.
kind of that's kind of where they are right now, the vast majority. I can't tell you what's happening at big firms because I'm not working with big firms anymore. So
Right.
I would hazard to guess, but they have real like professional management. So I would bet they're exploring every possible way that they can utilize AI, right?
Yes.
For the per partner profit. Because we talked about freedom. So it was good for you to transition to AI because freedom will give AI will
Mhm.
give lawyers more freedom.
Exactly.
Bottom line,
Yeah.
right? I've heard the expression, and it could be translated throughout the profession. AI will not replace lawyers, but AI will replace lawyers who don't use AI.
I've quoted that exact line on here.
Okay. And
Yeah.
I also use it for myself. AI
Yeah.
will not replace me, but it will replace me if I don't use AI in my
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
So it's across all professional services. So again, like any other thing that comes along, you have your early adopters,
Mhm.
you have the secondary followers, and then you have the people dragging their feet until the very end, until they absolutely have to get on board to survive.
Right. And at that
Nothing's.
point, they're way behind the curve, which is the point I try and make all the time. Go back to
See,
the intro.
that's another problem, Stephen, because lawyers, oh my God, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. As an entrepreneur, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I started my first business at 25. No MBA, blah, blah, blah. I just got in there, got my hands dirty, figured some things out, learned as I went along. I love this stuff. I'm not afraid of risk or change or new or different, right? So lawyers have a reputation. They'll wait till the guy across the street has tried it and proven it to be working, then do it again. I mean, you probably heard the book Blue Ocean Strategy,
Of
right? It's
course.
one of my favorite books on business. For listeners who don't know, it's basically about the strategies on how to get far out on the ocean, so far ahead of your competitors, they never catch up. So even if I was to convince a lawyer to do something first, be the first to do something, you know what they'll come back and say? They'll come back and say, but the guy's just going to catch up to me. And
Early
I'm,
advantage.
I'm like, oh my God, not if you do it right. I'm
Right.
not saying go and get out in front and then sit your ass down and let everything just happen. No, you don't. You never become complacent. I call it you never become the BlackBerry.
Mhm.
Never. I use that example, right? Never
Good
become
example.
complacent. But you get out ahead of your competition, and then there's strategies for you to stay out in front of your competition. But they're so skeptical. They'll go, "Oh, if I go out first, then he's just going to catch up." So there's a lot of mindset work I have to do, like a
Yeah.
lot.
No, I think this is really valuable for for us to have this chat for any attorneys that might be listening. And if you can just again, for any listening, if you can just kind of put aside the fact that you are a master in your legal domain, we give you 100% credit to that. But
That's
listen to
right.
this piece of the conversation because, as you mentioned, right, product adoption curve, technology adoption curve, it goes by different things, but there's innovators, early adopters, there's early market. Then on the
Yeah.
other side of that curve, as the roller coaster starts to go down, there's late market and laggards. And what
Yeah.
what you're describing, Gary, is people who are basically late market to laggards.
That's
And
right.
so that mindset you just mentioned about I'm going to wait and see when everybody else has used it. First of all, AI is not a fad, but if you're
No,
waiting
it's
long,
definitely not.
there is exponentially compounding losses in terms of opportunity cost that you're not factoring in. You're essentially, I use this example, like grandma just got on Facebook or got an iPhone like in 2025. Like last year, they just got on board. Like you have
Right.
missed a massive amount of opportunity. And in terms of thinking like, well, other people will use it too, so then that will take away my advantage. It's like, no, as you mentioned, it's dynamic. You're going to continue to move forward, but why you don't want to wait is because, like anything else, you're already going to learn to speak the language of AI. You're already going to be in the
Right.
slipstream of where it's going. So if you
Yep.
wait too long, right, then what's going to happen is you're going to be just starting to try and piece together vocabulary words while your competition is in the slipstream. So this is
Well,
really
let's yeah,
critical.
yeah, let's bear in mind, Stephen, we've been on this interview for what, 20 minutes?
Yes.
AI has compounded already 100 times.
It's so true.
Like that's the reality we're faced
Yes.
with. It's like what you did yesterday, it's already changed,
Yeah.
right? And so there are people that's scary, right? And I'm not judging them. I'm just pointing that it's a fact. It's scary to them. And then there's people who are like, wow, that's cool. That's new. That's exciting, right? And those people are in all industries. But lawyers, if there is a human trait, I would sum it up with this because I never want to be. I mean, I've a whole chapter in my book on the lawyer mind. Okay, it's the psychology, the left brain, right brain, all the traits and all that. It's not criticism. It's 20 years of working with them and understanding them, the way they think, the way they operate. I get it. But the toughest things holding them back are holding them back from AI. It's the fear of doing something different, doing something new, not being an expert at it before they do it. That's a big thing, right? Like they would study and they would ace their exams in law school. They would, for their clients, they're doing, they're perfectionists, right? So they're always aiming for perfection. So, and they never admit they don't know it. They never admit they don't know something. So that's another reason why they're reluctant to try it because they're not an immediate expert at it.
Mhm.
And they're not good at showing people beginning stages, right? Like when you're starting out in any career, we're all learning. I mean, I've always said when I stop learning, light the match. Like
Mhm.
if I'm done, I'm done. I'm done, really, basically.
Yeah.
But the AI thing is like there's so many applications, and there's also I watch in the general public some people that are afraid of the job loss and all of this. That's all, but it's also going to like every other major market interruption, if you call it that, or infusion that we've ever had throughout history. Our lives get better.
Yes.
We go through a little bit of a transition period and some people lose work and they may have to learn different skills, right? I mean, I'm always learning skills. I don't stop learning skills, right? My role has evolved over 20 years. It has not stayed the same, right? In the beginning, it was all marketing and business development. Now it's more HR
Hmm.
and scaling and systems and templates so that they can grow. I call it the plug and play. Plug the right people into the right systems, press play. That's your freedom. There's your freedom formula right there.
Hmm.
Plug, play equals freedom. And AI will be a big part of that. Where's it going? I don't know. And if anybody tells you they know, they're full of.
Um, and then I'll just ask you as well, while we're on the subject, how are you or are you using it for your own
Yeah.
business?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you a story about the book too. This is a funny one. I sent the manuscript to that lawyer in Toronto who will be hosting the launch party. He wrote the foreword. So I sent him the manuscript, and it was all in separate chapters. Okay. So I wanted him to read it before he wrote the foreword, and he's been a client, so it was great. The end of the day, he sends it back and he's put it through his beta testing AI program that he's built himself.
Hmm. Yes.
Now this is okay. So he's the younger one, right? Remember, I said the younger lawyers are more They're more, and this guy's as far ahead of most clients, right? So he put it through the AI program. It was called Redline, which I love, right? Like when you redline something and you're editing. And he said, now you can't just accept everything. You have to go through it line by line and make sure that it does fit your tone and, you know, as the author. So I went through it, but then I went through it with two other AI programs. So I have his beta, it's in beta testing, AI program that's already edited it. And then I've got two other AI programs competing with each other. I have to say this, I didn't use AI in editing my first three books. So at some point, my brain was ready to explode watching the AIs compete with each other to come up with the best line.
Yeah.
And it's like it was all his fault because he was developing this AI program. I use it in all the marketing, obviously editing for writing. We're using it in lead generation. We're using it. I am developing an AI assistant coach so that will be there 24 hours. So like a clone of me. Yeah, then that's a big project. That's a big project. And we're going to be using it within the app. I'm putting an app out there within, well, I should say maybe June. And we're going to be using AI throughout the app so that there's interaction and engagement, and it's customizable. As you know, AI will get to know you and your situation, right? And so that's what I want. So that between the assistant AI assistant coach and the app, like it's for the do it yourself, but want a little bit of support, right? And I don't need the one-to-one coaching level. It's just a different option. So, you know, as an entrepreneur, I'm looking at how do I take this new technology to help me reach more people, right? Help more people get freedom. That's the mission I'm on right now. Like we're doing this interview. I'm from Mexico right now. I come down to Mexico and work from here in the winter. That's freedom for me. I love this place. It's like I have an hour and a half every day of vacation, right? Go up to the pool deck, listen to my audiobook. It's awesome. And for me, that's freedom, right? For other people, as I said, it's different. And there's tons of examples, tons and tons and tons of examples I can point to where it actually works. And even litigators can do this. And they'll be like, what about being in court? Well, yeah, definitely. You have to be in court, but you build your travel around your court schedule, and you do have sign off for your court schedule, and you can plan ahead. So yes, even litigators can have freedom, but you have to have the mind, you have to have the mindset and the openness to actually believe it's possible, and two, be open to seeing the different ways to go about it, right? Because it's going to mean a couple of things, which I will be very frank on, are very hard for lawyers to adapt. Letting go of control, number one. There's no way you can grow and gain freedom unless you let go of some control. And the other big whopper, perfectionism. That's the other one. They have to let go. There is no such thing. I know I'm a recovering perfectionist, really. And I will probably be in recovery for the rest of my life. But there's nothing wrong with striving for excellence, being the best, 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 best. But you are wasting your time and only pressuring yourself unnecessarily, thinking there's ever going to be perfection, right? So, but those are the two biggest obstacles I see for lawyers is losing control. So let's get back to AI for a minute. If they don't fully understand it, they're not going to go near it. Yeah. If they don't have somebody they can fully trust to work with it, they won't go near it because of that control issue, right?
Yes.
So,
What would you say is one of your proudest moments in terms of an outcome or transformation you've gotten for a client?
oh, okay. That actually, it's funny because there's been a lot, but I would have to say there was female lawyer contacted me in just the week before we went into lockdown in 2020. I was in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. We had a consultation. She had already made a move. She was working at a boutique partner, full partner at a boutique firm in a niche practice area, had never had to do business development. The workflow came from the other partners. Very cushy, very comfortable, safe, all that. And she upended her entire career and moved over to a national firm where she was not only to be engaged in business development for her practice, they were looking at her to grow the practice group.
Ah,
So huge leap of faith for her. Huge risk. Like I remember I'll never forget the consultation. It's like 6 years ago. Yeah, it's actually coming up. Like next week, it'll be 6 years ago because it was that week. I think I flew back on the 15th. So I'll never forget. She goes, I'm excited and I'm petrified at the same time. And I was like, congratulations. Wow. Look at the opportunity in front of you and let's do this, right? So then we go into lockdown. She's a single mom, has two young girls, is now working from home, never done that before. She's taking care of her girls and she's trying to do business development with a new firm, new partners, new everything that she's only been at for 4 weeks. And now we're in lockdown.
yeah.
She went on to become the national practice group leader 2 years later.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah.
That's the big one for me because of the things that she overcame. Single mom, lockdown, all new partners, had to start from scratch, never did business development before. And she's like mature in her career, okay, to be clear as well, right? She was a full-fledged partner. No risk, but also huge payoff in the end, right?
Yeah, that's
So
great. In terms of your consulting business, where would you say that you're at right now in terms of, you know, the scale of growth, and then where are you looking to get to in the next 12 months or so?
I love that question because I do have a plan. Um, as crazy as the world is, and that's not going to change. Like it's probably tracking things. It's probably going to get crazier, right? I mean, if we look at the last 10 years, it hasn't gone back. It's gotten more crazy. So I always believe in having a plan. Here's one of the reasons. When things go sideways, because they do every day in the lawyer world, every day, you've got something to come back to. You've
Mhm.
got something to look at in front of you. So my plan is we're going to do our damnedest to make sure that everyone knows that this book is available out in June, and we're going to launch it. And I mean, the and approach that can be used in everything in your personal life, in your business life, no matter what industry you're in. It's a mindset. So that's number one. And by the end of the year, I'm franchising. That's the growth plan. Yep, that's the growth plan. And I want to be clear, I'm franchising to other coaches because, like lawyers, they can be amazing in their craft. And there are a lot of, first of all, I'm on a mission to pay it forward. I've had an extraordinary life of adventure and experience and people and places and things. And I'm now at the stage, later on in my career where I am determined to pay it forward. So one of the ways I can do that is to help other coaches become successful in whatever niche market they're in. I'm not branding it on track. I will help them. I will be coaching them. I will help them brand their own, right?
Mhm.
They're just going to be buying the systems, the processes, the how to, and the coaching, get them off the ground. And I'm truly stoked about that because there are a number of vultures out there preying on new professionals, and they're not, they're taking a lot of their money and not giving them true value. And I fully understand coaches and the struggles that most of them, the majority of business coaches don't make a full-time living. Actually, the statistics show. I mean, the good ones make a lot, right?
Mhm.
A lot. But then there's this major gap. So I want to help them. And how better to help other coaches than to have tested all of this with the most skeptical group of people on the planet for 20 years, right? Like it's proven this stuff, if it can work with lawyers, it can work with anyone, right? So that's the growth plan. And AI will be a part of that. Like it's going to be a part of every stage of that. I don't know how yet. I don't have to, but it will be a part for sure.
Absolutely. One question I always like to ask everyone, I'm sure you've got a version of this with your clients as well, but around the theory of constraints. So if you could wave a magic wand and you could lift one constraint or limiting challenge in your business to get to the next stage of growth, what would that be?
Hmm. Well, it's impossible. That would be changing the mindset of lawyers in general.
Okay. Comes
So
down to time.
that's not going to happen. So I have to do my best with what we've got.
Right. Right.
Like I said, I like challenge. It's good. Keeps this like moving. Um, but no, yeah, because like I'm not worried about time. I'm not worried about capacity because I'm not greedy. I love what I do. I love the coaching work. And I've got, I have an idea of when I'm in my capacity limit, right? Um, and I just want to stay there because
Mhm.
I don't need to overwork. I don't want to overwork. I'll figure out other ways to serve the clients, right? Um, so I'd say the number one constraint, which will never change, is the lawyer mindset. Um, and I can't change that. So I can help them when they become clients. I can help them slowly but surely. By the way, just for your listeners, in case any lawyers are listening, they never fully go over to the entrepreneurial side. They always have that lawyer foundation,
Mm.
right? So if you're listening and you're thinking, I'm going to change you or you're going to look different, no, 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 no. I don't change people. I just help you develop those skills that have been underdeveloped throughout your career,
Yeah.
right?
Good way of putting it.
That's, yeah, like, well, I mean, we all like, the thing is, we all need each other, right? Um, I'm not a lawyer. I wouldn't pretend to be a lawyer. I wouldn't know where to start, right? They've got skills. I mean, you go to a mechanic when their car breaks down. Who do you call when there's a plumbing issue, right?
Mhm.
I mean, we all need each other and recognizing that. And I help them understand that, okay, you got the trust issue, you got the issue with control, you're a perfectionist. You know what the solution is? It's hiring the right people. And the strategy is we hire people around your strengths. So we complement your strengths.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs, one of my guru, one of my business gurus. One of my favorite quotes of his is, "We don't hire smart people so we can tell them what to do. We hire smart people so they tell us what we need to do."
Yes.
That's how I work with my clients. I'm like, okay, Joe Blow or Linda May, you're the center of this. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Okay, your weaknesses, forget about it. Focus everything on your strengths and become a master. And what I'm going to help you do is build the expertise around you to fill the gaps left with your weaknesses. And here's the bonus. Those people are going to do it 10 times better than you. And you're going to be freed up to be doing your $600, $700, $800 an hour work, and you're paying them roughly $50 to $80 an hour.
Yeah.
It's win, 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 win. Right. So that's my formula. It's not rocket science. I'm not professing I'm like, ooh. It's
Right.
very simple and practical. I
Yes.
always keep it simple and practical because it works.
Mhm. But it is a different skill set, and that just happens to be
It's
yours.
a very, very different skill set.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great
And
sit.
most of the lawyers that I've worked with really do not enjoy the HR and marketing functions. No.
You are absolutely right. I can
Yeah.
attest to that as well.
Yeah. So
Well, this
I just by luck, those are two areas that I thrive and love. So
fantastic. Really great stuff today. I think there's a lot of gems in here for any attorneys or other professional services people that are listening. Any business owners. Um, Before we wrap up, could you answer this question that I like to ask everyone, just to bring a more human element into it? So,
okay.
when we're talking about business, when we're talking about overcoming obstacles of mindset
Mhm.
or growth, and then we're talking about emerging technology, that's all great. But ultimately, I always like to hear what's your personal big why outside of growing your business that gets you up in the morning, excited to do what you do?
Absolute freedom in all areas of my life, allowing me to travel bucket list around the world at the same time as I'm working with my clients. It's an easy question.
So you actually listen to your own advice, in other words.
Stephen, I actually practice everything that I teach. I
Yeah.
literally do. I actually do. It's no big, like, whatever. It's just half of these strategies I've come up with on my own, from my own discipline working, right? I've been working at home for 20 years.
Yep.
Right. So it wasn't COVID that I've been doing that, and I thrive. I mean, I'm like, I take a break. I do some meal prep. When I had my dog, I take him out for a walk, throw some laundry in. I get 5 minutes of resting this. I come back and I've got work to do, and I can get so much done in a shorter period of time. My organization techniques that I teach the lawyers, I use it every day.
Yes.
And the lawyers that act, because they're terrible at time management, the lawyers that actually take my advice, they're like a couple of months in, they're like, wow, I feel so freed up. I'm like, yeah, because I'm doing it too. Like, I'm not just preaching. I do everything that I teach. I really do, sincerely. Yeah. I mean, because it works. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, that's fantastic. So how can people reach you, and what best way to contact you? And then also, if you want to mention, I know it's not out yet, but you can mention your book again, and where people
Okay.
can find that.
Sure. Well, I'm on LinkedIn if that's where lawyers are always on LinkedIn. I mean, all lawyers are on LinkedIn primarily. Gary Mitchell, LinkedIn, or Gary at ontrackcoach.com. That's my direct email. There is no K in OnTrack. It's part of the branding, ontrackcoach.com. The book is called The And Approach. Emphasis on and. Grow your law firm and gain more freedom. It'll be coming out from Sutherland House Experts in June. You'll hear about it. There's going to be a lot of media, a lot of promotion, a lot of announcements getting closer to the date. I don't have the exact date, but it's early June. Yeah, the and approach. Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, it's great to have you. Really appreciate all the insights.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure speaking with you today.
Excellent. Take care.